Hi, pre-calc students. This video is to go over some of the calculator keystrokes that we've learned about in lesson 2-3. We're going to continue using these. So I'm going to go over the first question from the assignment and from assignment 2-3. So the question says to graph the function, and I'm going to just type in my function into y equals. Again, you're just going to access that by pressing the little y equals button. I'm going to type in 12 plus 33 cosine 3/8. I'm just going to write it as 3 divided by 8 parentheses. I'm going to use this button here, the xt theta n. You want to use that anytime you have a variable. And then I'm going to do minus 3 close parentheses. And then I want to set my window up the same as the window that's on my paper. So I'm going to go to my window and I'm going to choose my x coordinate to be -2. You can see the highest x coordinate on my paper is 24. And the scale that I'm using there is 2. So I'm going to keep that consistent. My y coordinate, the lowest one that's marked there is -20, but I'm going to actually go down to -30. Remember that when you're typing in a negative, you need to make sure to use the little negative at the bottom of your calculator, the one that's in the parentheses underneath the number 3. So it's going to be -30. My y max, I'm going to go up to 50, and my scale is 10. You can leave everything else the same. When you go to graph it, it should now look like the cosine function that is on your paper. The second question says to use the calculate value feature to find f of 6 and f of 14. So f of 6, that's function notation. It means you're trying to find the value of the function. It's the y value or the output when the input is 6. So you can use the calculator menu. So you're going to press second and trace. And that's going to take you to the calculate menu. You want to pick value, which is the first one. It's highlighted already, so I can just press enter. And then I'm going to type in my x value. My input is 6. So f of 6, down at the bottom here, it tells you that the y coordinate there is 26.229. If we want to do f of 14, you can do the same thing. Press second calc, number 1, press enter, type in 14. My x value is 14. My output is going to be -6.288. And you can see that it puts the value exactly on the calculator where your cursor is. That's telling you where your x value is 14 and your y value is -6.88. You can also use your calculator to find your input if you know an output. So question C says to find the first 3 positive values of x such that f of x equals 20. So to figure that out, you're going to go back to your y equals and you're going to go down to y2 and you're going to make a horizontal line y equals 20 and then you're going to graph it and you'll see that it intersects multiple times and it's asking you to find the first 3 positive values. So you can see this intersection point here is negative, so we're not going to do that one. We're going to do this one, and this one. So again, you're going to use your calculate feature. You're going to press second and trace. You're going to go down to where it says intersect, because you're going to find the intersection of that function and that line. And you need to tell the calculator which intersection point are you trying to find. I'm going to try and find this one first, so I'm just going to move my cursor somewhere close to it. And it's going to ask you first curve, you're going to press enter, second curve, press enter, guess, press enter. Essentially, you're just pressing enter 3 times. And you want to go and do that until you get the word intersection at the bottom of your screen. And you can see your intersection here, the y coordinate, the output is 20. That's what you were given. The input or the x coordinate is 6.536. Then you're going to find your next intersection point. You can do the same thing, do second trace. Go down to intersect, and now you need to move your cursor because you need to tell the calculator, I want to find this point now. And you'll move your cursor over there, get close to it, and then it's going to again ask you for your first curve, your second curve, and a guess. You can just press enter 3 times, and again it's going to give you that intersection point of 16.219 when the y value is 20. You would follow those same keystrokes to find your third intersection point. The last thing I want to show you on the calculator, even though in this question on your assignment, it doesn't ask this specifically, but I'm going to show you how you could find your zeros. Zeros are another name for your x-intercepts. I'm going to see where does this function cross the x-axis. So again, I'm going to go to that calculate menu, do second trace. This time I'm going to go to 0. And again, you need to tell the calculator which 0 you're trying to find. So I'm going to try to find this one right here where my finger is. The question at the bottom, it says left bound with a question mark. You need to move your little cursor somewhere to the left of the x-intercept that you're trying to find. So here's your x-intercept. If you imagine taking a vertical line right there, you want your little cursor to be to the left of that vertical line, which right now it is. So I'm going to press enter. Now it's saying right bound. I want to move it so that it is to the right of that vertical line, which in this case you can see it's right there. So I'm going to press enter, and now it's going to say guess. I'm going to press enter again, and this time it should say the word 0 there. It's going to give me my 0, and it's the y. The 0 is the x value when the y value is 0. You could follow those same keystrokes to find this other x-intercept. All right, hope that was helpful, and good luck with the rest of the assignment.